Hello everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to go over how to get data cells in Deep Rock Galactic Season 1 Rival Incursion. Currently the two sources of data cells are rival prospectors and rival data deposits. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the rival prospector. The rival prospector spawns when the map does, meaning that if you don't see him, he's not going to spawn later on. From all of my testing, nothing will set the rival prospector off until you actually attack him, so feel free to get as close as you want. The fight with the prospector is a three-phased fight. Every time his health bar gets depleted by 30%, he will become invincible for a short time and start spawning robots profusely. It seems that at all times during this fight, robots will be spawning, but excessively so whenever he is invincible. Also, from all of my testing, it doesn't appear that the prospector can get away no matter how much you let him run around. So don't get stressed if he wraps around a corner and you can't follow him easily. He usually takes the same path back and forth across a cave, so if he gets away from you, just wait in the same place and he'll probably come back. Even if his health bar disappears off of the screen, he hasn't escaped the map and will still re-aggro whenever you get close enough again. This event can be quite difficult if taken on at the same time as other map events, such as pulling an egg and fighting a swarm, or just a normal swarm during a mining mission. The amount of robots spawned by the prospector seems to scale with hazard level and player count. I may be wrong about one of those, but there's definitely more the higher difficulty you go. Whenever you do manage to take him down, he'll drop gold, nitra, and some crafting minerals. Or at least this is what the miner's manual says. Currently, all he drops when killed is one of each crafting mineral and one gold and nitra. So I have reason to believe that this is bugged, as I don't think there'd be a note about it in the miner's manual if it only dropped one. But more importantly than all of this, he drops the data cell. As mentioned before, this is one of two ways in the game to obtain data cells. At max, you can only get one data cell per mission, as only a prospector or a data deposit will spawn, never both. Once the dust is settled and the data cell has come to rest on the floor, you'll be able to pick it up and deposit it into the mule. Next, we have the data deposit. This is basically the location that all the prospectors report to with the information they've collected. This is more akin to a machine event than an actual dynamic enemy encounter. Whenever you encounter the data deposit, you can get close to it and hold interact to call down a hacking pod, very similarly to the industrial sabotage mission whenever you're sabotaging the power stations. Likewise, this entire event is basically the hacking sequence from industrial sabotage, but if you aren't familiar with that mission, I'll go ahead and walk you through the basics. Whenever and wherever the hacking pod lands, it will dispense beacons for you. You can grab and throw these beacons out, and they'll stick to any surface. Use these to create a daisy chain to connect the hacking pod to the data deposit. Simply grab and throw them until you have enough, and then run to where they're all located and string them out further. These operate on line of sight and also range, so if there's any terrain in between the beacons, they won't connect, and you'll have to break it. Since they stick to any surface, it can be pretty easy to run them up cliffs. But if you have a driller or engineer handy, you can always just make a platform path and stick them on the edges of it, or just make a tunnel to place them in. Once you have the pod connected via the beacons, go ahead and return to the pod, press the button, and start the hack. During this time, both glyphids and robots will attack the hacking pod in an attempt to take it offline. Try as they might, they'll only be able to stop the hacking pod, not completely destroy it. Meaning this event is not failable, just that it can be very difficult for you if you aren't very good at it. The hacking pod does take friendly fire damage, so be careful with C4, nukes, cluster bombs, stuff like that. But likewise, if it's destroyed by glyphids or friendly fire, all you have to do is press the button on it to get it started again. If at any point any of the beacons have become dislodged, the event will stop momentarily until connection is re-established. Beacons are dislodged in a more severe way, the pod will begin dispensing beacons again and will allow you to reconnect it that way. Pretty simple process, just defend Haxi until the hack is completed. Once the hack is completed, head back over to the data deposit. With hacking complete, the deposit will open up so you can retrieve the data cell. A tad bit more ceremonious than the prospector just dropping the cell on the ground, it offers it up to you in an Indiana Jones style pedestal. Though fortunately, nothing's going to come rolling out of the darkness at you if you pick this up, except for maybe a Corona shellback. At the end of the mission, you'll find the data cell listed next to all the other minerals and crafting materials that you recovered. They'll also give you a small amount of XP and credits, and a bonus of performance points towards the performance pass, exactly 1250. These things are extremely valuable. And at long last, we end up back at the season terminal in the space rig. For every data cell we recover, we'll be able to claim one bonus script from this menu right here. If you aren't already aware, script can be used to unlock additional items in the cosmetic tree. More about that in the Season 1 Battle Pass video if you're more interested in that. But that's about all there is to know about the rival Prospector and the Prospector data deposit. I'm sure there's a few more tips and tricks involving these things out there that we've yet to discover yet, so check the comments section for the pinned comment that probably has the best information on this entire video from one of the users. Next thing I'll be working on is a hard and fast showcase of all the 4 new weapons. Probably just one overclock a piece for the time being, and I figure out the weapons a bit better, so don't expect a full comprehensive analysis just yet. But I want to show them off as fast as possible, so expect to see that in the next couple of days. If you'd like to catch me live, I do stream over on Twitch, or if you'd like to catch some games with me or any of my community members, we do have a Discord. Both of those will be linked down below. We just recently passed 5,000 subscribers, and I kinda missed that. I apologize for that, but that's a pretty huge number, and I really didn't expect that whenever I started making YouTube content, so as always, thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything you guys do for me. I wouldn't be here without you. As always, thank you for watching, and have a nice day.